Accessibility in an Increasingly Digital World by Riley Hartzell. Today, we are going to talk about the future of accessibility in online education, as well as some technology that is emerging and trends that go with it. We will be talking about the impacts that this has on the future of education, the more commonly known tools that are powered by AI, and some tools that maybe are newer and you might not have heard of yet, as well as the challenges that some of these tools do present to our world. So let's go ahead and start with commonly known tools. The first one we're going to talk about is speech to text and text to speech. This one has been around for quite a while, and I'm hoping that you are aware of it. So speech to text allows you to speak into something and it creates it into text. This is really helpful for people who are verbal processors, as well as those who cannot type for some reason. Text to speech is also really amazing for those that cannot view text or process things better when it is heard verbally. Another one that we're going to talk about is auto subtitles. So the fact that subtitles can now be created quickly and somewhat accurately has impacted a lot of people in a very positive manner. Next is accessibility checkers. Now, since it is so much easier to check to see if your content is accessible, it will increase how often people are checking their content that they're creating for that accessibility. Many people just don't know how to make things accessible, and so by having these checkers that can quickly look at something and pinpoint the issues, it makes it a lot easier for those that are not super educated on accessibility. The final one that is very common, and I think a lot of teachers in particular have accessed, is generative AI's ability to create accommodations and modifications. Teachers can now quickly level a text to their learners' level instead of having to go in and hand create something or buy something that is already leveled. There's also things like translators that now can quickly change content. You can ask generative AI to chunk assignments out for you or completely modify them and make it work for a student with a specific disability. Now we're going to go ahead and discuss the ones that you may not know. The first one is actually one that I was really excited to see when I found it. It is specifically on the one that I found, a website called Goblin Tools. This website is designed for those mainly that experience things like ADHD, ADD, autism. It has a lot of really great tools. Many of them help with day-to-day tasks, but some can be really used specifically for online education. So the very first one that we're going to talk about is Magic To Do. It breaks down tasks into manageable steps. So one thing about gaining your education online is that you have to be very self-motivated, and you have to make sure that you are doing regular check-ins because there's not somebody physically there telling you to do that. So Goblin Tools has this Magic To Do button that you can type in what you need to get done, and it will break it down into a checklist for you, which I think is very helpful for those that get overwhelmed quickly. The next one is the Formalizer. So it takes your thoughts and it makes it more concise. This one, if you are feeling overwhelmed when you are trying to process a bunch of content that you have just read, you can just blurt out and write down anything and everything that you heard, and it will help you organize your thoughts. One that I find that is interesting that I think can be applicable in online education, though it might not be designed for that, is the Judge. The Judge helps interpret social situations and maybe interactions and lets you know if you are interpreting them in a correct way. So if you were to get an email from a professor about something you did incorrectly and you are worried that they're mad at you, you don't know how to respond in a professional way, the Judge will help interpret that email and let you know what their most likely emotion is and how they're feeling and what the situation calls for, and then help suggest responses. So if social anxiety is a big issue, it can help students that struggle with that be more likely to reach out to their professors and respond and feel more comfortable interacting online. So Goblin Tools is just a website that I think is a great showcase of the many accommodations and modifications and just assistance that AI can offer people for online education. The next one that we're going to talk about is speech technologies. This is mainly designed for people with irregular speech patterns, whether it's a lisp or slur, or just people that struggle to communicate verbally, it can actually take that person's speech and transcribe it successfully, which is something that is really hard to do if you do not enunciate. Think of all those times that you've talked to Siri and it has said something other than what you said. These amazing AI technologies can help decrease the frequency of incorrect transcribing. So it is a really big win for those that have irregular speech patterns and are trying to communicate. How this applies to online education is if you are trying to present something or record a video using your own voice, this can help make sure that that is understandable to others. And it can also help in, Zoom conversations with professors or with peers. It is just a really amazing technology that is powered by AI. The next one and last one we're going to talk about is screen recognition or readers. This allows people to interact with their computers in a new way. So this one actually has also been around for a while in different forms, but the further AI goes, the more it is able to do. Screen readers are able to communicate to people what is on the screen verbally. So if you are somebody that cannot see it, it can read what is on the screen and communicate it to you in an efficient way. It can also take in verbal commands to operate the device. So this is helpful for people that once again cannot see the screen, or people that suffer from a paralysis and are unable to physically move things around on their computer. It just provides a whole new level of accessibility to those that experience different kinds of abilities and disabilities. All of these amazing tools definitely will help increase accessibility. However, there is this underlying fear that as AI tools are released and as they are designed for teachers, there's a risk that these AI tools are not addressing accessibility if whoever programmed these tools did not have a lot of knowledge around accessibility. They may not design slideshows in a way that is accessible to those who need to use alt text. They may not provide chunked readings. They may not make lesson plans that really address differentiation. So there is always this fear that accessibility is going to get left behind as AI platforms are created. If we train AI to be aware of the different accommodations that can exist for those people who need them, then they are more likely to be included naturally every single time. It is also key that teachers and other people who are creating content using AI check that content for accessibility manually. So they should be going in and doing all the regular checks they would do on the content they create themselves. There are so many new exciting developments in AI that will increase accessibility. The main things that need to be looked for are that we are checking all of our work that is being produced by AI, and we are continually considering those who experience different kinds of disabilities in the creation of our content. There are new tools developing every day, and I look forward to how they will help our students.